Dogman is directed by Peter Hastings and stars Pete Davidson, Lil Rel Howery, Isla Fisher, Ricky Gervais, and Peter Hastings himself as the titular hero, Dogman. So I didn't realize this until after seeing the film, but this is actually based on the comic book that the kids in Captain Underpants write. So I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not too familiar with Captain Underpants. I never read the books as a kid. I never saw the movie. So that was something that kind of intrigued me. So I might have to check those out later on. But as for Dogman, this was a lot of fun. This was an easy breezy watch. It went by very fast and it had likable characters, and Dogman is just like an absolute legend. He was very cool to watch. He's got a simple yet effective origin story, and it was just a fun movie overall. I think the film and story actually do a really good job at making you actually like really care about these characters, specifically when it came to Pete the Cat's character, little Petey, his like clone of a son. When he comes into the picture, everything changes, and there's this moral ground that now Petey, this evil, conniving villain, has to sort of navigate, all while trying to take out Dogman, and that whole relationship revolving around Petey and his son, and then Petey versus Dogman, good versus evil. That whole thing, first of all, it was very fun. It was fun to watch. The characters have, fun chemistry and all that, but it also has a lot of heart. You really care about them, like I said. And the performances are solid too, specifically from the kid who plays little Petey. I found that performance just so good. Lil Petey is such an adorable, likable little character, and there's a lot to him. The same can be said of Petey the cat, adult Petey, if you will, because there's a lot of baggage with his character. He didn't have a good relationship with his father, and that's passed down to a sort of cynicism within him. And I feel like the themes this film tackles, specifically when it comes to the father-son relationship, are actually quite meaningful, and I think that's something that kids need to learn about, especially the cynical outlook, which is, I feel like, all too common these days. It's easy to look around and see all the bad going on in the world, and as you grow older, those things hit harder and you become almost numb to them. And I can't speak on having a kid and having that affect them, but I can completely understand how that can affect a kid. Someone who is naive and innocent and wants to see the good in the world, like Lil Petey. So you don't want to see like Lil Petey getting corrupted by this, sad outlook on life and how bad the world can be. And I think that also is something super powerful and important that kids can learn from this movie, because that's something that we need more positivity in the world. We need more optimism and more hope, especially in hard times. And all of the performances are great as well. Lil Rel Howery probably is one of the best comedic performances in the movie. He's yelling a lot, and he's very frenetic and chaotic and intense with his chief of police character, but he was very funny, and I really enjoyed his dynamic with Dogman. Isla Fisher is good, and I feel like this is actually the first time I've heard her real accent in a film, which was kind of interesting. And then Peter Hastings, who directed the film, also plays Dogman, which is just, dog noises, but along with a slew of other characters, which is very impressive from a voice acting standpoint. Pete Davidson was also pretty surprising. I haven't seen a lot from him other than, like little cameo comedic roles. But this one really suited him, and I honestly didn't even know it was him until the end of the movie. So that was funny. But yeah, he's really good, and he plays the character pretty well. Ricky Gervais as this like evil fish that shows up in the movie. I don't know, nothing spectacular, but I enjoy Ricky Gervais's comedic timing and all, so that was fun to see. The visuals were undoubtedly the highlight of the film, however. This world, OK City, I think is what it was called, is just bursting with creativity and life. The colors and textures are incredible, and I loved how the film emulated that sort of comic book like art feel. Everything is designed in such a particular and fun way, and it all comes together with a ton of imagination with the visuals. There's almost a painterly quality, like it's kind of rough around the edges, like kids would make it. And it's evident in how, the world is written as well. Like everything is super, and certain things aren't spelled correctly that you can see, and there's like a drawn sort of quality to some of the character designs and environments, and I thought it was really cool. It really fit the tone that this film was going for, and I thought it looked amazing. The animation is incredible, and there's a lot of very fun creative choices happening as well. The film is definitely self-aware. There's some meta moments, but they don't feel distracting to the overall narrative like some films can. I think the humor hit most of the time. There were a few jokes that were misses, but that's to be expected. For the most part, though, this was very quick, fast comedy, lots of laughs. Everything was very fast paced. And like I said, the film knew what it was doing when it came to its self-awareness. There are some references and nods to things which maybe I didn't completely understand since I'm kind of distanced from the Captain Underpants lore, but I thought it really worked within the confines of the city and the tone that the film was going for, and these characters, and just the absurd shenanigans and scenarios they get themselves thrown into. I also really enjoyed the score. The score has this like punchy, energetic feel to it. There's lots of drums and jazz and funk, and I thought it fit the vibe of the city really well, and the pacing of the film too. So it just has the film overall just has a very fun, bouncy energy to it that keeps you engaged and, goes by very quickly. When it comes to issues, however, the script is definitely the film's biggest weak link. It's not that the film doesn't have important like thematics or like something meaningful to say. It's just that everything is kind of underdeveloped. The introduction is extremely rushed, like Dogman's backstory and whatnot, and I would have liked for that to have been fleshed out a little bit more, especially to kind of like care about his owner and that whole relationship going on. I also feel that the villains are a tad underwritten. Not so much Petey, but more so Flippy, which comes in as like a secondary villain leading into the finale of the film. I found Flippy to be kind of underutilized and underwritten. There just wasn't a lot to him, and it was kind of resolved in this quick, I don't want to say unsatisfying way, because I did like the ending. I thought the ending was good. But like I said, there are certain character elements and plot points that I think could have been developed a little bit further, could have had a little bit more meat to them. And I think because of this, the film, pacing is slightly inconsistent because it is so fast paced. Everything is just boom, 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 boom. And which is fun because it definitely keeps you, compelled, keeps you on your toes. But it also feels almost like too fast to where you don't have characters and plot points don't have enough time to breathe, which is a little frustrating. As for other issues, there were, like I said, a few jokes that didn't entirely land, kind of dated themselves maybe, and a few like editing choices that weren't great, a few inconsistencies with the story or whatever, but they're all very minor. I mean, overall, I had a great time with Dogman. I thought it was fun, I thought it was fast, I thought it was quick-witted and funny and energetic, and it also had something meaningful to say. And I think, taking your kid to this, or, even just going with your adult friends, you could actually take something away from this movie of substance, and I think that's really cool. Visually, it's amazing, and I loved the creativity and imagination when it came to crafting this world and its characters. There's a lot of absurd elements, but they all come together because the tone and atmosphere work really well. Likeable characters, a fun story, a good score, great visuals. I mean, it's all you really can ask for in a children's film. Not only is it funny, but it has something to say, like I've said, and you also feel those emotional moments, especially near the end. Dogman is a fantastic protagonist, and I really enjoyed just watching him fight crime and, do good, and he was just so adorable. And same with Lil Petey. Lil Petey has to be one of the cutest little characters I've seen in animation in a while. And that's really what these animated family films are all about. Cute characters that you just be like, "Aw, I love them." So yeah, that's Dogman. It's flawed for sure, but it's very fun. It's funny. It's cute, and you'll have a good time with it. It's an easy watch, and it's definitely one that I wouldn't mind watching again. Honestly, seeing it in theaters was cool. And now I'm interested in, seeing if there are any connections to the Captain Underpants universe. So that's going to wrap up this review. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Comment if you've seen Dogman. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you indifferent to it? Is Captain Underpants better? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next movie review.